Welcome to the GSTL. We are in our second day of semifinals. How are you feeling? Are you ready for this, Kaldor?
I'm really excited about today's games. Yesterday, semifinal number 1 was already amazing. We had a great series with FXO coming out the victor, and today we are looking for the second team to go to Busan.
Yeah, we're going to find out who that's going to be pretty soon here. We saw a crazy match yesterday. It was one of the most exciting matches I have ever seen. It's going to be hard to top it, to be perfectly honest, but we'll see what these teams can do, what they can show us today.
Yesterday was really crazy, especially the last series that we've seen with Lenok against DRG. That was one of the best CVCs that I've definitely seen in quite a while. So a really exciting series, and as you mentioned, this is going to be really hard to top, but we have two great teams today. We have Slayers and we have TSL.
Yeah, and you know, our starting players are pretty exciting as well. We'll talk about those a little bit later. We have some players for Slayers kind of out at foreign events right now, so they don't have their full roster.
Yeah, exactly. This might prove to be a problem later on. Ryang is currently missing, Alicia is missing as well, and of course Puma is also at MLG. So Slayers today with a few less players, something that we will see later on when we have a quick look at the bench. And what do you think? How much is this going to affect them?
Well, is Puzzle gone as well? I believe he is.
Puzzle is here.
Okay, Puzzle is here. So that's something that's really important because I think Puzzle is a very necessary part. If you don't have Ryang, you at least need Puzzle because you need that strong guy to finish. And right now, Ryang and Puzzle has been that guy. But if you don't have either of those players, it's kind of hard to finish with Slayers right now.
Also very strong, of course, recently is Koka. Well, not only recently, but he made this all-kill happen, and he's definitely the Zerg backbone of the team right now. Someone that Slayers can rely on, and they will definitely need a few hard hitters today because TSL is no pushover.
Yeah, TSL has just a solid lineup of Zergs for the most part, with a few other races in there. They've got Nori, of course, they have Polt sitting on the bench as well, so they have those other options, but they're a solid lineup of Zergs, and it all comes down to when are they going to put these guys out. They have a hard brick wall lineup, basically, but the thing is, Slayers has so much depth. They have so many different players. So we're going to take a look at our team information, our race distribution breakdown here in just a second. Here it is.
Let's have a closer look at things. The captain today is Clyde, of course, the coach for Slayers, Jessica, while we have Coach Lee for TSL, and the captain is none other than Polt, the Terran player for the team. 5 Zerg players currently in their roster.
You can see the win order by rate of order of appearance, of course. MMA and Symbol down there at the bottom being the most contributing players.
And of course, Symbol is definitely one of the players who really wants to go to Busan. He was not successful in Code S. He really wants to go to the GSTL finals. And one thing, by the way, that we did not mention yesterday, he told me after the match, we were always talking about how DRG is actually from Busan and how it was really important for him to go there. Lucky is from Busan as well.
Yes, a lot of FX Open players are from Busan. That's part of the reason why it was mentioned that their families are going to come out. Now you're going to see Symbol leading the charge, having the win rate, the highest one at 90%, 9-1.
Yeah, and just think about if we see Symbol against Puzzle today, one of them will get ahead in the individual ranking. So today could be a very important day for the players that are in those two teams. Koka, of course, with a record of 8 wins and 3 losses, also in the top 5.
Pretty, very insane day of games that we may have today. There's so many different players on EG that can help out. There's so many players on Slayers that have the depth. I really feel like they have different sniper strategies possible, more so than TSL really does. They just have good players. They don't have specific players. The players have different styles, even though a lot of them are the same race, but they don't have really a snipe type style, I feel.
Yeah, and one of the things that's also coming into play today, once again, is of course the choices of maps. We've seen this yesterday, that the very strategic choices by especially the FXO team, in the end they were really in dire straits as Lenok had to win 3 games, but a lot of those maps that were really hard for him to win were already eliminated. We didn't have Antigua in the map pool anymore, so this is definitely something that both teams will consider today as well.
Yeah, Lenok and all of FX Open did a great job of picking those maps just to protect Lenok in the end because they knew they were going to have to use them. It seemed like that was going to be the case in the beginning. Choya seemed confident. Lenok's coming out. He's going to come out last, and he's already ready to reverse all kill.
Yeah.
And having Lenok as their backbone was definitely the plan. And, well, he executed the plan quite well.
And here they are, our TSL players.
The new Millennium Crushers, man.
And here's Paul, the captain of the team, of course.
Some are calling them Team Swarm Life because they have so many Zergs.
Yeah, for good reason. The opening player today is also a Zerg player. It is not Hyun, it's not Shine. No, today we have as a starting player... Oh no, we actually have Shine, sorry. I was going to say it's not Hyun and not Symbol, but it's Shine. And he was just successful in Code A against the Protoss player. Today he's facing a Terran though.
Yeah, he's going to be starting off against Clyde. And you know, I think it's gonna be a tough match for Clyde. If he doesn't play a ton better than he has shown the last 6 to 9 months, I think he may just be crushed because Shine is on a roll right now. He's getting better and better, and this is going to be a tough match for him. But let's check out the TSL players, starting with our Terrans.
That's a closer look at the roster. And here we go. We have Hold, of course, Punisher and Center. 3 Terran players in the lineup, followed by
our Zergs, Ragnarok, Hyun, Symbol, Revival, and Shine. A big Zerg lineup.
Yeah, very strong players, and of course also a few Protoss with Inori and Value.
Yep. We have not seen Value yet this season, but he's there, and they do have, you know, it's like most people consider them having one Terran and one Protoss, because usually if they're going to use a Protoss, they're going to use Inori. If they use a Terran, they're going to use Pult. But they have these other guys on the roster, and they may be used as snipers.
Exactly, you can always try to train the sniper on a certain map against a specific race or player in order to take someone out. But here they are, they're really confident, they want to advance to the finals. In the front, of course, Hyun sitting into the top right. We have Hold, bottom left, Shine, the 2 coaches, in the middle between Symbol and, bottom left is Symbol, between Symbol and Hyun.
Yeah, we got those coaches there. Coach Lee, you know, he seemed confident when I spoke to him earlier. Here is his opponent's team, though. It is going to be Slayers. The Song, the Emperor, aptly chosen. There's Puzzle coming out, and this team is pretty scary. I would say many people would, actually, I don't know which team to call a fan favorite. I would say Slayers has had a lot more long-term fans. I mean, Slayer's Boxer is the head of the team. You can see him. He's quite the figurehead, really.
Yeah, indeed he is. And of course, in the middle next to him with Jessica and Sella. Here they are. They want to win today. A very ambitious team.
Look at Jessica, man. She looks like a princess, or like, I don't know. She looks great today, man. She came prepared, not only for the strategies, for the decisions, but also she looks good.
And the Emperor himself giving a speech before we are going to start the first match off. Yeah, of course, also JYP in the circle.
Yep, I can hardly imagine any more inspirational people speaking in a circle like that than the Boxer, the Emperor himself.
Yeah, this guy sure knows how to win, so let's see if he's able to motivate his team.
He's got a ton of experience. This team...
And guys, well, sorry to interrupt you here, but looking at the bench, there's actually one face missing that we kind of expected to be here.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that more in detail a little bit later. But first, let's take a look at our team broken down by race.
And here we start with the Terran players. Clyde, Crank, and... Oh, sorry. Terran and Protoss.
Yep.
Clyde, Crank, and...
Crank sneaking in there because they got a lot of Protosses like JYP, Arthur, and Brown.
Yeah, but this also begs the question, where is MMA on this lineup? Here they are, the Zerg players.
Koka, Mia, Yu-Gi-Oh, and Min. No MMA listed on this roster, and, well, he's not showing up on the bench, so MMA not here for his team today.
And this is not only the only problem in general. The thing is, they seem to have only one Terran today in their roster. Young is at MLG. We have MMA not on the lineup. Thorzane is not on the bench either. So suddenly it's only Clyde, and they use Clyde as their first player. Yep. So from this point on, the TSL team will be very, very sure that there is no Terran coming out.
Yeah, and we don't even have Puma here, as you mentioned before. Yep. This is basically a one Terran team right now, unless they want to pull out the Emperor, but he wasn't on that roster.
And he still has shoulder issues, as far as I know, is not fully recovered. So
that's absolutely true.
This might prove to be a problem later on.
Yep. Here is our starting Zerg. It's Shine. He has taken out many Terrans in the past, and to be perfectly honest, man, he is probably going to be feeling pretty confident going up against Clyde right now. I mean, Clyde is not a bad player, but he has not shown much since the open seasons.
Shine is not an unknown player, but definitely one of the up-and-coming players that we have in the TSL lineup. And he has not made a big splash yet, but we just see how well he's doing in Code A, how well he plays, and he seems to be earning a lot of confidence in the booth, a lot of experience as well. That will, of course, also help him in Team League, not only in the individual league. So Clyde is in for a tough match.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy for his opponent here. I mean, Shine he's a newer guy, I guess you could say, but he definitely has shown so much potential so quickly, as many TSL Zergs do. And Clyde, on the other hand, he showed a lot of potential back in the open seasons and in the earlier days of Code S, but he fell out, and since then, he has not really reappeared. He hasn't played in Team League very often, doesn't go to foreign events, has not requalified for Code A. This guy's kind of been back in the shadows, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, what's going to emerge from this cocoon today.
So far, he hasn't joined the lobby. Apparently, he's just testing his settings and making sure that everything's in order. And this is so important. We've seen just in the recent past that a lot of players have received the warnings in the GSTL because their hotkeys were not set up, something like this. And well, today is going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, it is going to be exciting.
And
indeed.
I'm really a little bit baffled that MMA is not here. Of course, there are all these rumors and the stories that he's being demoted to the B team. But even if he's at the B team right now, which seems to be true, I would still want to use a talent player like MMA in the GSTL semifinal.
I would at least want to have the option, even if he has not been practicing with the team as much since he left the house, or if he's had some struggles personally. You got to come through for your team. Exactly, you got to come through your team if your team needs you. I'm a little bit surprised he's not here myself. Well, Clyde versus Shine, starting things off here. Clyde really is going to have to put his money where his keyboard is. I don't know how to use this phrase in StarCraft, but he is, Clyde has just been really on the back burner right now. He's been kind of in the shadows, like I said. He's been training, but he hasn't been showing himself too much.
Of course, he knew for a while now who he's going to face, and he will have prepared very well for this matchup. But Shine is a very strong opponent. He proved this against Ace in Code A. He has had his appearances in GSTL as well. Is he able to win the first match today against Slayers? Ladies and gentlemen, the map has started. Here we go. This is the GSTL semi-final. Slayers against TSL, casted by Calder Wolf. First map is Daybreak, and we start with a player at the bottom left in the red. We have the first Zerg for the TSL team. This is
TSL Shine!
Yep, very good Zerg player. And, his opponent in the blue at the top right actually used to be part of the original TSL team. Now playing for Slayers. His ID is
Players, Clyde!
Clyde actually was the one who came up with the name of the team, Team SCB Life.
Well, today he's facing them, and as mentioned, he is facing a very tough opponent. This is not only true because Shine is just in general a very strong player, but his best matchup is the matchup against Terran. He has a 75% win ratio against Terran, and this is just insane.
That Muta ate my baby. I just had to say it out loud. It was really funny. I'm so sorry about your baby. I didn't know mutas were known to do that. I just thought they threw glaive worms at things I didn't like missile turrets, marines, or supply depots.
Well, you never know. I think we've learned something today.
Yeah, I guess so. I hope somebody took that marine out. Or muta, rather. I hope a marine took the muta out.
Well, as Shine's now taking his expansion, just a few last games that he played against Terran. He took down Virus in the GSL Season 3 in Code A with 2-0. He lost to Tasia by a very small margin, but defeated Gumio twice. This is just a very strong Zerg who is able to make a lot of things happen, especially against Terran. Took out a couple of European players too. He very rarely loses to Terran. On the other hand, we have Clyde with a 46 record against Zerg. And he has been in dire straits just recently. You pointed out already that he was a little bit on the back burner, and most of the games that he played in the recent past against Zerg, he actually lost or was just barely able to win.
Yeah. he is going to go for a 1 barracks expand here, which a lot of players would go for command center first, but he's trying to play things safe. And as we've mentioned several times, he is the only Terran for his team. So this map is slightly Zerg favored in Korea, 48 to 39 wins in Zerg's favor. But this is a map that he wants to play safe on. He does not want to die to an early pool or early aggression. He wants to make sure how he does this, how he expands here is 100% safe. And he will take his gases either very soon or he's going to make another command center. Second barracks going down actually for Clyde first. Interesting choice. Most people these days are going double gas. While he's going up to 3, he may put on some bomber naked marine pressure, something a little bit like Keen does maybe as well.
There are a lot of timings currently against Zerg where you try to use your Bioforce, and we have just yesterday I've casted a game between Moon and Thorzane. In the end it was the Zerg player who won the series, but Thorzane with a very, very interesting push. They evolved around barracks play, upgrades, great timing with a few Hellions, the first few medivacs, and Moon was completely helpless against it. So these bio styles are getting a lot more popular these days, and for good reason.
Yeah, it's really good to see Terrans innovating and changing things up after the Queen change. There were a lot of people struggling, but it seems that Terrans have kind of started to figure it out really well now. Now, the question is, will he just continue to make naked Marines for a while and start a factory, or is he going to go ahead and get a Tech Lab? Looks like Tech Lab is the choice. He wants to get that sim early. And we may see exactly a similar push to what you're describing, especially considering that Thorzane and Clyde live together right now. They may have talked about the strategy, he may have observed this, and even Thorzane may have learned this build from Clyde.
Thorzane opened up a little bit different though. He started with the factory a lot earlier, just in order to have the Hellions on the map already before he followed up with the Biostyle. So this is a different opening that Clyde is currently using, but it's definitely it would have definitely been an option. So at this point we have him with a combat shield, and of course very important is also that he is scouting his opponent, because TSL Zergs are known to be very strong in the mid game, especially the Baneling attacks are very, very common for TSL Zergs. We have players like Hyun who love the Zergling, Muta and Baneling style. Symbol is also one of the Zergs who would attack sometimes in the mid game just with a huge amount of Banelings. And this is something that, well, Clyde definitely has to take into consideration. And currently we have already Shine opening a little bit different. He's going straight for Roach Warren. And we've seen crazy Roach pushes out of TSL Zergs.
We really have. Look at this attack by Clyde, by the way. He's going out right now. He's going to hit this hatchery about the same time that his combat shield finishes. He knows his opponent sees this. He knows that the Overlord saw it, so he's just going to kill this Sling. He's going to keep going with this. Needs to make sure he keeps going. There he goes. His factory's on the way. And the Roaches aren't going to be out. Speed's not going to be done. He's even making a bunker here. And this hatchery is probably going to have to be canceled. I mean, he doesn't really have much of an answer for this right now. No Lings on the map.
And they will need some time, though. Those bunkers have a good chance of finishing.
Yeah, I think they will. 2 more Marines joining the mix, and he's going to have to cancel this.
Yeah, there's just no doubt in my mind at this point. If he doesn't cancel, Shine is going to lose it, and he's canceling it immediately. He tried for a while to hold it, and Clyde is already backing off, and this is actually exactly the best choice that he can make at this point. He knows that he canceled the 30, delayed it by quite a while, but there have to be some units, and therefore backing off right now, a very good decision.
Yeah, he's not going to try to fight at the bunkers. He wants to make sure if there's any counterattack like the one we see right now, he's going to be ready for that. He's going to have these Marines back at home. The bunker finishes. He's making even 3 additional bunkers, going up to 4 bunkers just to be safe, because he knows that he's put his opponent into such an uncomfortable position that he's going to have to be aggressive. He's going to have to attack. The Marauder may get picked off here at the edge. No!
He's controlling the choke point, he's controlling the ramp, and Shine has to be careful here. He's trying to make this happen, trying to surround the Marines, and he has them on the back foot, but at the same time, Clyde is really trading well here, retreating slowly but steadily into the range of the bunker, and this was well executed by the Terran player. The Zerg lost a lot more resources than Clyde did.
Yeah, Clyde, remember, he does have those combat shields. He checks again for that hatchery, and Stim is more than halfway done. He's got a 3rd command center on the way. The only missing piece of the puzzle right now is medevacs, and he has a starport with a reactor on. He's going to be starting those medevacs ASAP. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't done it yet. There they are, 2 medevacs in production, and basically he has built all of his tech. He's even going to get in here and see the evolution chambers. Will he get into the main?
Yeah, he will.
I cannot believe he gets in there and sees no lair.
This is a great start for Clyde. This is very well played, and he was actually not only able to hit the 3rd, but at the same time he shut down this aggression that Shine planned from the start. The timing that he used in order to attack here was just brilliant. And it's very, very interesting. To me, it's really interesting to see how Shine is going to react to this, because at this point, the game is not really going his way.
No, it's not. He got a little bit behind early on, and now he's going to have to try to figure out how to equalize it. He went for a counterattack. That didn't work either. Now his opponent's got medevacs, combat shields, and stim. He's got a small roach force. He can't engage this. He has to turn around. His third base is late. He's got a lair on the way. He's got scouted by his opponent. I mean, everything is kind of going wrong for him. They're not always necessarily due to his mistakes, but because Clyde has done such a great build here.
Of course, the supply is still a little bit in favor of our TSL Zerg. He's currently at 61 drones with 50 SCVs. But still, Clyde doing a good job going for the double upgrades and taking down a lot of these creep tumors. One of the things that a lot of Terran players started to neglect when the Hellion build was not that powerful anymore. Clyde is doing a good job at controlling the creep, forcing it back, and just making sure that Shine does not get the map control.
You're right, and with the small amount of Marines that's out here for Clyde, he can do a lot of damage, but at the same time, because there's so few of them with the 2 medevacs here, if a bunch of Lings and Banelings and Roaches attack him, he just picks up and gets out and escapes everything. Watch, he's about to do it.
And here once again, Shine trying to commit to this, but nice, well done. Clyde is making, well, he's kind of using the fact that at this point the Zerg cannot have a good amount of anti-air. So he just picks up the units with the medivacs, flies away, and drops in the main base of Shine. The Zerglings are ready, but he's losing quite a few of them. He would actually have lost all of them.
Yep, and at the north, he's distracting a lot of those units with that drop that he sent there as well. So, two-pronged attack here from Clyde, and Shine seems to be struggling here just a little bit to defend it.
This is definitely not the performance that we've seen out of Shine in the recent past in his COD games. And Clyde here, he's on fire. He's dropping now the 3rd base. The TSL team sure is, the Slayers team sure is happy at this point.
Yeah, he is doing.
Players are a little bit edgy.
He's doing so much right now with these little drops. He's got his 3rd base finished. He's floating it over right now. 4th is on the way. Siege mode very late, but he never needed it, so it's totally fine. 1-1's about to finish for him. It's going to put him a little bit ahead in upgrades as his opponent has not started has not finished +1 attack just yet, but he does start +1 or +2 carapace. I can count, I swear. 4 infestors on the way, and he's going to drop into danger.
He's dropping again, he's dropping the Marines. The medivac, of course, great help here, but there are not enough units for Clyde to make this happen. Another drop attempt. But still, Shine is, of course, not out of this yet. He's taking to Hive, he has the Infestors on his way. 68 harvests to 69 in favor of Clyde, who is now on 3 bases. A very interesting game with Clyde being the dominant force.
Yep, and he gets shut down again with these drops. Are basically at this point him trying to keep the Zerg away from him for a little bit, distract him. Now he's going to go to where he thinks there might be a potential 4th. Doesn't see it. Now he can actually continue to load units into that medevac from here, as well as try to push this creep back. He sees, wow, this is so cool. He sees the Infestor over there. He's going to run past, but unfortunately for him, there's enough units on the main base, and you know, the beginning drop defense for Shine was a little bit shaky, but now every single drop Clyde tries to make gets completely shut down.
He's stabilizing. He is definitely stabilizing at this point. With the units that he has in position, he's doing a great job here. And now the Zerglings trying to go for a run by catching a few of those reinforcements of God. The Infestors go in as well, maybe a little bit too late to the party, but still able to use at least one on a fungal, and they get back home safe.
Yeah, they get home safe, and he did pick off a siege tank with that attack. I feel like getting the siege tank made it worth it. He's trading a little bit of energy. This Viking is being oh so annoying right now. Already up to 2 kills. Likely will get a 3rd here if he targets this Overlord.
Yeah, I think he just missed that the Overlord was not dead yet.
A small miscalculation on that Viking's part, but he can't turn around. He can't change his mind now.
You see, you're not the only one who is not able to.
Yeah, man. He's like, I thought.
I need 1 more shot. Oh no.
He's just gonna look in his rearview mirror as he flies away, man. Just remembering, like, if I just thought about this a little bit differently. Ultralisk Cavern, by the way, at 16 minutes coming down here for our TSL Zerg. His Infestor count at this point is up to 7, and that's a decent amount of Infestors to have to get these Ultralisks out. He's building the Baneling count as well. 2-2 is on its way. And Clyde going for another drop. This time there's nothing here. He's a little bit out of position.
And a very good position for Clyde to drop. He dodges the Spore Call. He has to target down those Banelings, and he does it. The Queen dies, and these Zerglings are in trouble.
Yeah, he cannot actually fight with these Zerglings. He needs more. He needs
where the fungals,
and there they are.
He needs more surface area, and this is the one thing that he doesn't have. At the 4th, there's another drop going off, and Clyde now maxed out. Shine definitely on the back foot. Clyde is doing a great job once again taking down creep trimmers. Really well done.
This is two full energy infestors go down. A third one.
No.
Four. Wow.
He takes down 4 infestors. This is bad news for Shine.
It really is. This is the Clyde of old, man. This is the Clyde with Clyde burns that I know. This is definitely a high-level Clyde. Multitasking is insane in this game, attacking oftentimes 3 or 4 locations at once, getting the scans off, taking out that creep.
He's doing this Final Fantasy style.
Yeah, he really is, man. And he is pushing all the way here. Well, it looks like he was considering it. Not going to do it just yet, just continue his drop play instead. Despite the fact that he's cleared up so much creep, he's done so much good scanning, Shine has not stopped for a second. A lot of lesser Zergs would have just kind of let the creep go. They're worrying about other things at this point in the game, but he has really not stopped.
Another drop to the left side of the map at the third base was just taken out. We haven't seen it on the... Well, you might have been able to catch it on the minimap, but we haven't seen it on screen. But once again, Shine able to defend, and here is Clyde once more in the main base this time. He just doesn't stop. This guy is dropping over and over again, and he does enough damage. Dropping so much is important. Is really dangerous as well. It's of course important to kind of be the one that initiates these attacks, but at the same time, if you lose too much and don't kill enough units, it's definitely going to be a problem. But so far, Clyde has been able to make it work.
Yeah, he has, but he's being under attack at his 4th. Some great fungals on these Marines, but are there enough energy? Oh, he needs one more! And he will not get it. He has to retreat.
And Clyde is suddenly down to 150 supply, but he has still a lot of minerals left. He needs a few more production buildings in order to keep his production going.
Yeah, he really does, because even though he's making 3 Marauders, 2 tanks, and 6 Marines at a time, he could be making more with 1,600 minerals in the bank. Now up to 10 Marines. 3 on the way, 3 for tanks, 3 for his bio, and as well as his armor coming out, 3 for the Zerg units, as well as the Spire is coming out here, so he may be able to make that Broodlord switch as he forces a lot of Marauders out onto the field.
And again the scan, again he kills the tumors. Doing a really great job here. I love how Clyde is always sending units across the map in order to force the creep back. This is so important in this matchup, and he does it over and over again. The Ultralists are now on the move. A sieged up position for the Slayer's turn though, and is he running right into it? No, apparently he knows about it.
Well, he's trying to figure out the exact angle of attack, but Clyde's not giving him much time to think, tearing through the creep in the middle.
Clyde is faking a drop here, isn't he?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Sorry,
you mean Shine, yeah.
Shine is sending a huge Overlord force over to the right side of the map.
And there's not a single thing inside any of these Overlords. He doesn't see it yet with his Viking. He has no idea, so the fake... Oh, this drop may become real as drop research has begun.
Did he miss it? Do you think he actually forgot about it?
It's entirely possible.
We have had Zergs in the past who try to fake drops and trying to just make this work in order to gain a good position. But he might actually have just forgotten about the upgrade. It certainly looks like it. There's no reason why you would have the Overlords in position, not fake the drop, and at the same time start the research.
By the way, we have Neo Steel Frame on the way for bunkers. That means that Clyde may actually start to set up a crazy defensive position. He's also getting building armor, which is useful for many things. He's spreading his tanks really well here. Shine is trying to decide how he wants to engage this. Right now, a lot of the tanks are out of position. And no, a pathing mistakes. He did not hold position some of those lings. He has to cancel the hatchery again in the middle. In fact, I don't even think he canceled it. I think he killed it. He's desperately trying to get that base up, but Clyde will not allow it, not for a second.
The TSL team currently discussing the games as well. We have Polt and Symbol talking about what's happening so far. And the TSL guys, they are not too happy, not desperate, but still, this is giving them something to think about. Nice fungal here by Shine. He's going in, taking down these Marines, not overcommitting to this attack though. And the upgrade 4 drop is done.
It is done. 9 Corruptors on the way. The Greater Spire finishing in time with them. He has not been able to secure the center base. And right now, Clyde is actually trying to move forward even further, and Shine cannot find the right angle to engage. He has not lost any really big, expensive units just yet, but he is being very, very careful with all of them. Does not want to engage even one time against Clyde. Clyde's multitasking is so good that he knows if he loses his army just once, Clyde will capitalize on it so well and just kill every single base he has.
Nice drop defense by Shine once again. He seems to be everywhere now, really aware of the minimap, really aware of his opponent's movements. A queen dies nonetheless, and Clyde scans and forces back the creep. reaches up in a new position, controlling the choke points here, taking down Queen number 2. But now Shine's Q has started. He is moving in. He's using the bundles, the ultimate fleet, the charge. He's killing most of the Marines, but there's just too much DPS for his opponent.
Yeah, the split was too good. 8 Broodlords on the way. He really needs those. Needs to buy a little bit more time. The Marines, though, are going right for the natural. He's scanning. He's killing the creep there. The creep of Shine is almost all but gone. The Ultra's coming in here. The bundles are decent, but there's so much DPS. The Ultra's getting very low. He pulls them back.
Those siege tank, definitely a big problem for him, but there's not a lot of anti for Clyde. He's building 2 additional starports now because he knows fully well the transition might prove to be too much for him to handle. The Broodlords, they are ready, but he's moving into the main base. The Broodlords out of position. They are not able to help out here.
Yeah, he is going to be able to get the tanks with his Zerglings and his Broodlords, but the units in the main base are doing a lot of damage. Taking out this Macro Hatch. Will he target down the Ultralisk Cavern? Looks like he's not. He may just try to lift up and get out with an Infestor. Gets the Infestor, gets out, saves all the medevacs.
And now, of course, Shine has to attack. He is on the move already, trying to move forward with the Broodlords that he has. He has the drop ability now. He can drop with his Overlords if need be. And here's the attack. Here comes Clyde once again. He has a few Vikings in the composition, immediately being fungled by those Infestors, but there are not enough of them. A few Corruptors trying to help out, but the Corruptor count is too low. Now finally the reinforcements arrive, and this is bad news for Clyde, of course, as Shine can now just take down this entire ground army.
Yeah, there's not enough Marines here. He needs to pull his medevacs back. He's starting to take some serious hits here. I'm not sure if he should be fighting with his Vikings at this low of a count right now. He needs to pull back, get himself a little bit more geared up to fight with a bigger army. Doesn't want to fight with these small fragmented
ones. In the main base, we have currently the drop. It's going on. He dropped a few Zerglings to the top right, and a lot of SCVs are already gone. He killed those 2, well, 1 refinery, and is now attacking the starports. Very important to just make sure that Clyde is not getting this many Vikings into the game.
Yeah, with the reactors gone and one of the starports gone as well, things can get really nasty. But he is going to clean up the Zergling force. He may have to scan, as he's got, of course, no Raven on the map. The Zerglings have burrowed. If he doesn't scan, there he goes. He scans. If he didn't do this, as soon as he moves out, the Zerglings will unburrow, have the same problem. And Clyde is hitting his micro really well. He's spending all of his money. He's already back up to max. He's ahead of his opponent in supply right now, but 6 Infestors about to come out. That'll put him up to a total of 14, and that is a scary count to deal with.
Yeah, definitely. This composition that Shine currently has is very, very strong. Clyde, of course, not only going for Vikings, but at the same time building the first few Thors. He had the better bank the entire time in this game, and therefore he could just produce more units, but he is not playing too cost efficient at this point. Here comes the fight. Nice fungals. Very good fungals by Shine. Doing a great job here, killing a lot of these Marines, but he needs additional ones. He's not saving his Infestors. He has more energy. Another fungal hits home, but it's just not enough. Clyde has too many units, too many Vikings, and too much on the ground.
See all those Infestors right there? They were not with that army at that time, so he didn't have all the fungals he needed, and Clyde now takes a 60 supply lead. There's no base in the center. There's no more money for Shine, and Clyde starts to take out a few more Infestors. Gets 1. He's going through, he's killing the drones, and Shine is looking desperate right now. Thor's joining the mix as well here.
A lot of units for Clyde are down to the red, but Shine, he could not take them on. And this is really scary now for the Zerg player. Clyde is on the move, trying to move up the ramp, trying to take down the last few remaining forces for his opponent. And Clyde is looking really strong, a lot stronger than I expected him to be.
So much stronger than I expected. A few fungals go down here for Shine. They're well placed on the Vikings. Well, there's nothing for the Marines. He's got no answer. There's not enough fungals here. The Queens, Infestors dropping out of the Overlords to die because they don't have the energy. Cannot use them quickly enough. The Thors adding their +3 DPS to this hatchery, and Shine may be spent here. A mule is dropped saying, "Get out of my game. My team has taken the lead."
Yeah, that's exactly what he is kind of signaling to Shine as we speak. We have a Zergling run by, a last desperate attempt by Shine to do some damage to the economy of Clyde. But with the nearly maxed out army, the Slayer's Terran is looking way too strong. He has those Thors, he has a lot of Marines with the DPS that he needs in order to end this game in his favor. And of course, put the first point on the scoreboard for Team Slayers.
Yep, the sensor tower spotting all of the run-bys that Shine tried to go for, and Clyde pushing his way through, taking out the last of the Queens. There's so many of his Marines on low hit points, but it simply doesn't matter because the DPS is still there no matter what the hit points are. Almost quadruple the supply now of our TSL Zerg. He's long distance mining.
The army supply is 123 against 31 in favor of Clyde.
The creep is gone. Another mule.
It's like, okay, maybe you missed the first one, but hey, buddy, I was serious about it. Get out.
GG.
GG as Clyde takes game number 1.
Kelder, I have an important question that just came to mind. If you neural a mule, can you mine with it? And then would it send 30 minerals to your base? Did that ever happen?
I would certainly think so.
I think so, but I wonder if that has ever happened before. Shine looking a little bit devastated. You could tell by the fact that he stayed in the game that long that he was not happy with the results.
Well, I can certainly imagine that he is not too thrilled about it. He was actually, in my opinion, the favorite in this game.
Oh,
Look how relieved Clyde is here.
Yeah, he looks great. And you know, I feel like Clyde is a little bit difficult to study right now, whereas his opponent has played against so many Terrans. Shine has played so many Terrans recently that Clyde could really study his builds, know exactly how to hit him with that early Marine timing.
And, well, actually, Shine looks like he's ready to start the second map.
Yeah.
But in the GSTL, we don't have a second map. On the other hand, we just had Clyde, and he looked so relieved. He looked so relieved that he won this game.
Well, I didn't expect him to be able to do it, but he showed a great game already. He's the only Terran hope for Slayers today. And, you know, we're going to have to see what our TSL team is going to do next. I have a feeling they might pull a Hyun here. I mean, Hyun is one of their top players, but they're never afraid to pull him out early. And we might see that very heavy Zergling Baneling style off of 3 bases and Demutas out of him.
I don't think it's time for Symbol yet. Hyun would definitely be a good choice. The map is actually going to be Entombed. Why do you think that is?
Well, of course they have a pretty heavy Zerg team. They want to make sure that no Protoss come out against them. Because we actually have a really solid Protoss lineup for Slayers, especially with JYP on the bench. Crank, Puzzle is here. Did not go to that event, so...
Yeah, exactly. So they want to get rid of these maps as fast as possible. And Hyun is actually a really good option here. I'm not quite sure if they really go for him, but it would be a good choice.
You know, it's a tough choice to make. Do you want to use him? Do you want to use someone like Ragnarok here? Pull him out, let him prove himself a little bit more. But this is the semifinals. Do you want to pull him out early here in a critical situation against Clyde, who looked great in that game? You know, the drop defense from Shine was decent there in the end, but Clyde was just everywhere. He may defend 2 drops, Clyde says, but I also have a 3rd force killing your creep in the middle, and you can't be everywhere. Well, let's find out who it's going to be.
Doesn't look like it's going to be Hyun.
It doesn't, man. I'm a little bit curious right now. Oh, no way! Symbol right now! They probably never expected this.
Neither did I, not this early. It is Symbol. They don't kid around, do they?
No, they are not wasting anybody's time. They're going right to the finale. He's eating dessert before lunch, man. That's what the TSL coach is doing right now.
And look at Symbol. He wants to start. He is eager to play, and I mean, I think he is.
Look at how fast he's moving his hands right now. Look at that.
He's sitting in his booth and he is signaling to the Slayers, guys, bring it, I'm ready.
His hand looks like a spider playing Dance Dance Revolution, man. That's what his hand looks like. Look at that. Oh my god. Symbol is so ready here, and I could not be more excited. Clyde has already proved himself, but he is going up against the king. This guy is #1 in player rankings for GSTL this season.
And of course, he was devastated when he lost his Code S match, and now he's playing at the GSTL. He might be the player who enables his team to go to Busan. We'll find out. And just after a 5-minute break, this is crazy indeed. We have Slayers up against TSL.